It's here. We all knew it was coming. The housing crisis is finally upon us. Let's talk about it. Hey, it's Narreau here with Realty One Group Empire, and yes, we are in a housing crisis. Now, no, it's not the one that everybody was thinking was going to happen, which would be a housing market crash. We're actually in the complete opposite of what would be a crash. We are in a housing crisis that is because of lack of inventory. So as you'll see here, this is from my MLS. I'm in the Victor Valley area of Southern California. And as of right now, currently today, we have 398 homes available for sale on the market today. Now that is a ridiculously low amount. So that's less than 1 month's worth of inventory. In my market, what is considered a healthy market is at least 6 months worth of inventory. So for us to even get back to what is considered a healthy market, we'd have to multiply our inventory, 6 times over to get around 2,400 homes available on the market to purchase. So are we in a housing market crash? Absolutely not. Are we in a housing market crisis? Yes. And the cause of that is the lack of inventory. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've been on Zillow, Realtor.com, you've looked at a home, you've gone back the next day, it's already in escrow. Or you've even gone back just a couple hours later and that home's already in escrow. So we have a amazing amount of buyers that are able to qualify and purchase homes today. However, we have a lack of inventory. So homes are flying off the market, going into escrow 1 to 2 days. Sellers are seeing multiple offers on their home, over asking. Buyers are waiving contingencies, and it's a wild time to be in the housing market right now. So how would any of this cause a housing market crash? In my opinion, I don't see a crash happening anytime in the near future. I mean, just think about it. For us to get back to a healthy market, we'd have to see almost 2,000 homes come to the market, which based on the 400 we have available, doesn't seem like that's going to be happening anytime soon. So for us to get back to a healthy market, we need about 2,000 homes to hit the market. And with the interest rates right now, yes, they've begun to rise, but in order for the interest rates to have an effect on the housing market, we would have to basically see those shoot up. So we're in about the low 3s right now. Let's say if they shot up a percent over the next week or two, that might have an effect on the housing market. Just because the interest rate shot up so rapidly, obviously home sellers are going to have less buyers that are going to be qualified, because when the interest rates go up, you actually qualify for less of a purchase price. So if we saw a massive increase in interest rates rapidly, that will have an effect on the housing market. But we just came out of a pandemic. We're just now starting to see, restaurants open, entertainment spots open. So it wouldn't make sense for the Fed to, just hike interest rates rapidly. That would, basically just cause, a housing market crash, essentially, which would make absolutely no sense to do just coming right out of a pandemic. But on the other hand, we have no inventory. So even if interest rates did shoot up, there's still such a small supply of homes available to buy that if you're qualified, even in today's market, one, you're going to need money to pay for your own closing cost. You're going to need money in most cases to offer over asking. And also, you're probably going to need more money to put down for your down payment than just the minimum amount. Now, are offers getting accepted with just the minimum amount of down payment? Yes. As far as closing costs, I haven't seen anybody pay for the buyer's closing costs recently in at least the last year. give or take. Some situations, actually one of my buyers had closing costs paid. That was right at the beginning of the pandemic. And honestly, the timing was perfect on that. As of, pretty much, I would say since June of last year, I don't know how anybody would be getting, a buyer would have their closing costs paid. It does happen. I would suggest if you're gonna be a buyer, plan on paying your own closing costs. So, with that being said, are we in a housing market crisis? Yes. It's because we have such low inventory. Is a housing market crash happening anytime soon? I can't see it. We would have to have 2,000 homes hit the market, basically overnight, just to bring us back to what is considered a healthy market. So keep that in mind if you're waiting for this housing market to crash to happen. Keep on waiting. I don't know. I can't see it happening anytime soon. So if you are on the fence of buying a home right now, one of the questions I would have to ask you is, how long are you willing to wait? So most people want to wait for home prices to come down. As you've seen, we only have 400 homes on the market right now. We would need another 2,000 homes to hit the market basically overnight just to get us back to a healthy market, which is where it's not a buyer's market or a seller's market. It's basically just a flat market. So if you plan on waiting for home prices to drop, the question I have to ask you is, how long are you willing to wait? If you're willing to wait, in my opinion, it could be at least another 2 years before we see any change in home prices. So if you're willing to wait that long, hey, that's perfectly fine. I'm not here to try to get you to buy a home or sell a home. I just want to educate you on either the process of buying a home, the process of selling a home, and also the real estate market. Or if you want to sell a home or buy a home, I would love to help you out with that as well. So my services are available to you. Now, with that being said, the other question I would have to ask is, one, are you in a financial situation right now to where you are able to purchase a home comfortably? If you're looking to buy a home and I'm your realtor, I'm not looking just to sell you the home just so I can get a commission check. I wouldn't feel right if you buy the home and then you become what is considered house poor, where you're basically putting all your funds are going to the house, whether that's the upkeep, the maintenance, the house payment. I don't want to put you in that situation. Obviously, ultimately it comes down to you. I would never suggest you do that. So if you are in a situation to where, one, you're financially able to purchase a home right now, you're willing to, there's no way around it. You're most likely going to get into a bidding war on whatever home you do end up writing an offer on. You're going to definitely be in a multiple offer situation. So if you are in a financial situation to where you're able to do that, I would say, hey, go ahead and purchase a home now, because I don't see home prices dropping anytime in the foreseeable future. Now, obviously, if you're not as well qualified to purchase a home right now, I would suggest to you, the two things I always suggest are, one, obviously, is to save as much money as possible. So if this market doesn't change for the next couple of years, I would plan on paying your own closing cost and also having money on the side to offer more than what the seller is asking. So if they're asking for their sales price is $300,000, if you're able to offer $305,000, that might be the one thing that gets your offer accepted. In today's market, I've seen homes, go $20,000, $30,000, in some cases even $45,000 over the asking price. So be prepared for that if you are thinking about buying a home in the near future. It could get crazy out there. So if you do plan on buying a home, have money for the closing costs, which is around typically 3% of the purchase price, and also have money saved to offer more than what the seller is asking for. And then the other thing I always recommend is to get your credit score as high as possible, because even if we do see interest rates continue to rise, the higher your credit score is, the better rate you're going to get. So if interest rates do continue to rise, at least with a higher credit score, you can be towards the lower end of the interest rate. So keep that in mind. If you're not ready to buy right now, save as much money as possible and work on getting your credit score as high as possible. Those are my two main suggestions if you're not ready to buy right now. And if you're waiting for home prices to drop, the question I have for you is, how long are you willing to wait? In my opinion, I don't see home prices dropping anytime soon. So keep that in mind. And if you're looking to either buy a home or sell your home in today's market, here's my contact information. I'd love to help you out. Reach out to me. Even if you're not ready to buy or sell right now, I'd love to talk to you, get to know you, build that relationship. And when you are ready, I'm here for you. So with that being said, my name's Adam Narreau, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.